Welcome to Mindfulness Moments, the series where I expand upon some of these teachings of Thich Nhat Hanh, the Buddha, based on my personal experience and practice. So I've chosen a card today. As I get farther into this series, I'm not sure which cards I have already read or not, so maybe we'll get something fresh from an old card, who knows. But today's card is look deeply into your perceptions. Our perceptions are often inaccurate and cause us to suffer. For example, we may think it is someone's intention to cause us harm, when in truth, they are acting from their own suffering and not thinking of us at all. If you look deeply, we can see the true nature of everything and go beyond our inaccurate perceptions. Looking deeply means observing something or someone with so much concentration that the distinction between observer and observed disappears, and we see all things as interrelated. First thing that comes to mind is the truth that hurt people. Very, very simple statement. But if we look deeply into it, we look deeply into ourselves, and we look deeply into others, we see that in reality, they're not really doing it to us. The first time I practiced in a temple in Japan, probably in 1993, I had a realization while bathing that people don't do things to us, they do things for us. They're showing us. They're either showing us how to be or how not to be. And we have the choice to learn that lesson. The more aware and concentrated we are in the moment, the easier it is to get that lesson. The easier it is to see the difference between the observer and the observed. See that we are interconnected. If we look at our own lives and our own practice with honesty, with compassion, without judgment, we'll see that there are times when we were irritable, we were tired, when we were frustrated, and then someone calls us. And instead of not taking the call at that moment and caring for ourselves, we answer the phone annoyed. And the poor person on the other line who just called to check in or fill us in or whatever begins to suffer because we were suffering. Now you may experience this on both sides. You may have been the caller, or you may have been the one receiving the call. And if we look honestly and deeply, we can see that it's not about me. Again, Don Miguel Ruiz's 4 Agreements. If you haven't read that book, please pick it up. The second agreement: Don't take anything personally. We always feel that people are out there to get us. That's not the case. If we look deeply, if we break down that wall between observer and observed, we can see the interconnectedness. We can see that we all just want to be happy. They may seem like they want to be miserable, but they don't. They're just caught up in their karma. They're caught up in their toxic sludge. And they haven't had the chance to flush that through. They don't know the practice. And that's when it's our responsibility to take care of ourselves so that we can offer to them an example. I'm just looking over the card here to see if there's anything else that's popping out. So, how do we work with this? So if I'm in not such good a space, I'm frustrated, I'm tired, I'm irritated, I'm worried, I may do some walking meditation. I may sit and do some seated meditation. I may do clean my desk meditation. I may clean up that pile of clutter that's in the corner that I've been avoiding. And that pile of clutter that's in the corner is a beautiful metaphor for that sludge, that stuff that we're worrying about in the back of our mind, that we're trying to overlook, that we're trying to ignore. But just as you go and you clean up that corner of your room, you feel a difference. There's an energy shift. The process of cleaning has cleaned you, and the process of moving it, which wasn't that difficult, and organizing it and shredding it if need be, throwing other things out. You can see that if you turn that same simple practice into yourself, and work on removing that sludge, get some Drano in there, start cleaning it out. Being mindful, I think that's what he's using here by concentration. By concentrating deeply, by being aware. So it's really being aware of the world that's going on inside of us and what we're projecting to the world out there. And the more that we can understand that, the more that we can be compassionate for the other person. We can see it in the other person when they're acting the way that I have acted. Oh, maybe they're having an off day. Oh, the sun is shining, but their world is cloudy. I'm not going to let them bring me down. I'm not going to try to say, hey, you got to see the sun. No, I'm going to live my practice. I'm going to do my practice. Be that flag blowing for them, that light burning for them, that example. And the whole time I'm taking care of myself, not in a selfish way, but in a magnanimous way, in a way that's caring for all beings. present, past, and future. I'm breaking the barrier, or letting that barrier come down between observer and observed, seeing the interconnectedness. And I understand that hurt people, that it's not personal, that it's not about me. I often see this as an opportunity, because if someone's pushing me, that means I'm not present, I'm not in my practice. And it's a mindfulness bell. Wake back up, come back to my breath, let it go. So I hope that was interesting for you. It's always interesting for me to meet each week with you. Please like, share, and subscribe. It really helps the channel to get the message out there. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. And if anyone's interested in perhaps a Zoom group meditation once a week or a couple times a month, please let me know. We can start organizing that. It would be nice to have a virtual Sangha. Thank you. See you again.